All of us reach a point in time where we are depleted and need to somehow find a way to reignite the fire within. But how do we spark that flame? Welcome to Reignite Resilience, where we will venture into the heart of the human spirit. We'll discuss the art of reigniting our passion and strategies to stoke our enthusiasm. And now, here are your hosts, Natalie Davis and Pamela Cass.
What do they say? Things are slower in the summer.
That is absolute. That's malarkey.
It's malarkey. Malarkey. Exactly.
Why? Because like when our kids were young, they had a schedule.
Yes.
And so at least we knew for a period of time we would have like calmness while they were at school. But then summer lets out, no rules, no expectations, it's like
anything goes.
Like wild. Like
exactly. Anything goes.
No schedules. And I'm a Virgo. You're a Virgo. We like schedules.
I used to have anxiety every summer. I think I have like just sideline anxiety for all of my friends that still have kids that are in school because they're like, oh, the kids are out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what are y'all going to do?
It's almost like a trigger response. Like, oh my God, what are you going to do all summer? Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, thank God.
This generation of parents somehow figured it out. I had that like moment of freak out with a friend of mine. We were on a call earlier today and he has two littles, a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old.
Oh gosh.
A 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. And I'm already in freak out mode. I'm like, oh my gosh, what are y'all going to do this summer? And he's like, oh, well, they do this, this, and this. And then on one day and I'm like, oh, okay.
We didn't have this, and this when our kids were little.
There was no this, and this. That's why. Exactly.
Like, go outside and play.
Yes.
Come back when it's dark.
Exactly. And don't hurt yourself. Don't get in a car with strangers.
Yeah, don't get in a van with a stranger. If you get thirsty, drink out of somebody's hose.
Yeah.
You're going to be just fine.
For the most part, they are.
They're stronger for it.
They are definitely stronger for it.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Well, welcome back to the show, everybody.
Yeah, like, what was this? Y'all just like came in hot, didn't even say, welcome back to Reignite Resilience. Nothing. We just went in all, because we were talking as the countdown was happening and we weren't going to interrupt our conversation.
We're not going to stop that. No. I think, and here's the thing, like it's just one of those days, weeks, seasons right now. So Pam and I were just talking about the fact like we're going to record this pod and then we're going to hop off and then we've got another planning meeting that we're going to hop back on. And I was like, we'll hop on, record, hop off, hop back on.
Yep,
and then she goes and turn yourself around and that's what it's all about.
And then I start singing. That's what it's all about. You put your right foot in, you put your right foot in.
And here we are. Listen, if y'all aren't experiencing it, good for you. Live vicariously through us.
Yes.
That's where we are.
Yeah. And you're probably going to need a nap after.
Exactly. A good afternoon power nap never hurt anyone.
Never hurt anybody. I am an encourager.
Today we don't have a guest, and there is a special reason why. We are so excited. We've talked about this. I think we've queued it up. We've led up to it. We've alluded to it. We've done everything to let you all know that we are releasing the second book in the Red Journal series, and it is officially available on Amazon. Meaningful Success: How Clarity and Alignment Actually Drives Real Achievement. And so we're super excited. The book is out. It's on Amazon. By the time this episode airs, it will be available on Amazon in paperback and ebook, so you can get your copy. But yeah, ta-da! Here it is. Oh, wait, I think there's like new sound effects. I could probably use a sound effect. But anyways, it's here.
Okay, awesome. Well, we're going to have to definitely do some sound effects at some point.
Exactly.
We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out. So let's dive into it because I want you to share what was the inspiration and what was the process you went through to start to write the book and then complete it? Because I know we have a lot of listeners that are probably like, gosh, I really would like to write a book. I've got a book in me. How do I do it? So I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting question. My journey is a little bit different. I actually went through the process of attending a writing retreat almost 10 years ago now. almost 10 years ago now. It's like
Yeah.
the magic number. Everything is always like, it was
Yeah.
actually 9 years ago, which would be perfect because
Yeah.
that's the number of completion. So
Yeah.
9 years ago, I went through a writer's retreat and I wrote a manuscript, and it was the hardest. It wasn't the hardest experience. It was a challenging experience. It wasn't hard. It was challenging.
Yeah.
Just to put yourself in a space where you are completely in flow and like in this flow state to write. And it was controlled environment. The retreat took place in Hawaii. So you're in paradise, you're away from distractions, your phone's not ringing, all of those things, right? You don't have the meetings. You have 4 dedicated days to just simply write. And it was lovely. And I started to go through that process, and the story that came out was one that like kind of took me by surprise because it wasn't my reality. It was definitely a
Mm.
different version of me or a different lifetime that I lived or something like that. And so there were characters, there was a whole build out, and I got through to the character development, and I like hit this what would one would call like writer's block. And I was like, I don't know, because I don't know these people, right? Like I'm like, I don't know who these people are in this book. And so I put it to the side. And then when we went down the process with the podcast to say, okay, let's start this book series. And in my mind, when I said yes, it was, we're writing these practical application, like the book that talks about overcoming adversity. It was going to stem from some of our podcast episodes. And I was like, yes, I can do that. We can talk about the experiences that we've had with the guest and our guest stories and their tools and their techniques. And I was like, yes, let's do it. And then, as you all heard, if you haven't heard, go back and listen to the older episodes. We started down that path, and Pam was like, "I don't think that's where we're going," and so we went in different direction.
I just felt like we we wrote it, and I don't know about you, this is a me statement. I didn't feel like it was authentic.
No,
I
no,
felt we
you're
were
right,
writing a workbook, and I'm just like,
100%.
this doesn't make me excited.
Yes. And I think that was actually something that came up when we had a writing coach that Pam and I worked with, and I think that came up in one of our coaching sessions with the coach. I was like, here's the thing. It feels very workbooky. Like, are we creating a
Yeah.
workbook or are we writing a book? And then that's when like we just we took a beat, which is always good to do if it doesn't
Yeah.
feel like it's in alignment. Take that moment to just actually pause. And so we took a beat, and then we were like, let's actually dive into it and see what it can look like. And so
Yeah.
Pam was able to deliver the quiet gift, which stems from her story of dyslexia and working through that as a young child and into her college and professional life as well, like what that looks like. So this book for me, long answer to your short question, I apologize. It just gives the listener all the background.
Yes.
For me, I started doing reflection on like, well, what is that story that I want to share, right? We have created this community that brings people together where we talk about the adversities that we have and how we overcome those or how we face them and how we work through them. And, one thing that I'm going to say that I leaned into in a different season of life was that I didn't live enough life to be seen as like the expert or the professional or like, the authority within a space. And then um, be careful for what you say and what you wish for, because then a lot of life started happening,
Yeah.
and with that, those life experiences have really shaped me in a way of how I show up as a professional, as an entrepreneur, as a leader today. And so this book, Meaningful Success, actually goes through kind of parallel. It's not my exact story, but it
Yeah.
pulls from some of my real life experience, some of the challenges that you go through when you are aspiring or really have that drive for success, right? Where you're in that, I've got to do the next thing. I've got to hit the next goal. I've got to, it's like you have the recognition, you get the accolades, you move on to the next thing, and you just keep moving up and up and up until you reach that moment where you question, like, is this even what I wanted? Like, is this what I want? Like, is this what I thought it would feel like? And the reason that the book runs parallel, the story itself follows the main character, Jasmine, who is a middle-aged woman that she's achieved all of the successes in life. And she has a family and a husband, and they're building what looks like a pretty amazing life on the surface. But underneath, there's something that's pulling at her that she just doesn't have that sense of fulfillment. And that was a season that I found myself in, is that I realized like I'm doing all of the things, but I'm not fulfilled. I'm not satisfied. Like, what is happening? So that's what sparked the book. And I said, okay, if I start to write about that, this transformational slash pivotal point in my personal life and in my professional life, because it's impacted all, what would that book look like? And that was kind of where I began. Um, but I knew that it wasn't like my memoir, so it's not a memoir of my life. It's a story of Jasmine and what it looks like for her to actually achieve success. So yeah, that's the book in a nutshell.
Oh,
Super excited.
I love that. So is there any tie to that first manuscript that you wrote in Hawaii?
Oh, there is not.
Okay.
That
So
is a completely different book.
okay.
Yeah, that is a
Okay.
completely
Okay.
different book.
Okay.
And you asked Pam, for the listeners out there that are like thinking about um writing a book, or that you have a book in there, I would say give yourself some time to like just really decide like what is it that you want to deliver,
Yeah.
and what is the impact that you want to have, right? Like we shared, Pam and I, we have these podcast episodes and we meet these phenomenal individuals that have amazing stories. And we have adversities in every area of your life that you can imagine, right?
Yeah.
We talk about adversities in finances and career and relationships and health and wellness. It's a run across every area of the life, but we didn't want to create a workbook. We wanted something to actually be more personal, to have more of an impact. So if you're sitting on a book or you think you're sitting on a book, think about that. Like how will your story impact or change the lives of other people? For the first book that I wrote, it's still out there. I may pick it up. I know where it's stored. It's stored on an external hard drive.
Okay.
So I may pick that book back up. That one's a heavier, darker book.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's I think that there are a couple of books that are in me. I going through that writing retreat that I went to 9 years ago, I kind of had this vision that I had, at least 3 books within me, that were ready to be released. So, um, we'll see if I pick up the first one. I think the first one's like a good one that just gets it out there.
No, I love that, and I love the idea of, yeah, maybe circling back to it. Because when was the last time you read that manuscript?
Oh gosh. I would say maybe 3 or 4 years ago. It's been some time.
Yeah,
It's been a lot of
and
time.
and I've seen how much you've transformed over the last 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I don't know about you, but I feel like this podcast has had a huge impact in both of our transformation,
Mhm,
uh,
100%.
of these people that we're meeting and just these connections that we're making with humans, and it's like, "Holy
Yeah.
cow." I don't even remember post Pam, post podcast. P
Post pod po pre-pod Pam, pre-pod Pam. There
podcast Pam, PPP,
Yes.
or BP, before podcast.
Yes, before podcasts. You know what? That's, I remember it just because I just had to pull it back up for this book, but I
Oh,
remember, and there are still things that come up, but you're exactly right. I think, the impression that many of our guests have left on us,
yes.
I'll make that an I statement, that they've left on me.
Oh, yeah.
There's yet to be an episode where I don't get off of the recording and I take a moment to like reflect, because there's always something that applies or to my life, or I'm looking at something a little bit differently, right? And so yeah, this place has definitely,
Yeah.
this space that we've created has definitely left an impression on me for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
And my hope is that if, our listeners are sitting like, "Oh my gosh," because I've heard this from probably every person, "Oh, I have a book in me. I just don't know
Yes.
how I would do that." I
Yes.
think writing a book is incredibly vulnerable because you're like, "Oh my gosh, what if people don't wanna hear my story, or what if nobody buys it, or whatever?" To me, it's less about who buys the book and more about me just letting it out of here and on
Yes.
to a space where it's leaving a message for whoever
Yeah.
whoever chooses to read it. But it is such a I don't know how to explain it because you know this, I'm doing a writing retreat in July. And so we just had our first session where for 2 hours you just write. And it's nothing to do with the book that I'm going to write. It has to do with just, they asked a question, if you were a place, what would you be? I mean, it's
Mhm.
simple question like that. And you just literally put your pen to paper and you do not pick it up. And you do
Yes.
that for 15 minutes. You don't lift your hand. You just, I mean, my hand was cramping up, but I was like,
Yes.
I'm not going to. And it is so interesting what just flows to you if
Mhm.
you allow it. If you
Yes.
get out of your thinking brain and you just allow the words to flow out of you, it's such a powerful space to be in. And so
100%.
I'd love that. So did you kind of have that same when you were in Hawaii and then this time as well? What were some of the like, did you find there was a specific place or a specific time that you would do your writing or what did that look like?
Absolutely. So, in Hawaii, I wrote on my laptop. I was trying to think because there were people that were allowed that you could either type it or you could write it, and I knew that I would be able to type.
Yeah.
I was very competitive in high school, so when I took typing class, the girl that sat next to me, we always had our own competitions outside of what the teacher wanted us to do, so typing is something that is easier
Yeah.
for me to do. There's a little fun random fact if you wanted to know. Anyways, I knew that typing it would be easier for me, like, just to keep up with the flow that was coming out, and so I did the same thing. I just went directly to a Word document, right? Like, open up the Word document, let's just start
Yeah.
going. I It's easier for me now because my children are adults and, I have the space. It's not like I don't have the space that I can, like, create the environment for me to be, to start to, like, kind of outline where I wanna go and what it's going to look like. I think the hardest part of putting this book together, was actually going through and figuring out what parts of the story I wanted to
Mhm.
put in or what parts of my own personal story I wanted to weave through,
Yeah.
and then how that all fits together with Jasmine's actual story because it's not me, it's Jasmine's story. So there are like parts of my experience in this life that are in the book.
Mhm.
And then there are also like it's the storyline of this completely other different person. And so like that is hard. That is hard. I'm just gonna say it. That is a hard thing. And so I think that was the most challenging piece for me. And then I think building out the other characters, right? So Jasmine is married. Her husband John, he's in the story. They have she has 3 kids, they have 2 together, that's built into the story, and so, what I really enjoy, or what I enjoyed and what I wanted to make sure that I brought into the book was the other perspectives for the people in Jasmine's life,
Mm.
and I think as high achievers, we're so driven by the success or the win or whatever it is that the goal, whatever it is that we're working on, that oftentimes we don't have an opportunity to put ourselves and have that empathy, like put ourselves in the shoes of the other person. And so the book absolutely ties in the perspective and the impact of Jasmine's decisions on the other members of her family
Mhm.
and how that's influenced the other people in her lives other people's lives in her life. And so I think that was kind of the thing was like, okay, create this space and then making sure that I didn't just capture like the one-sided view of it, but also looking at like other people's perspectives. So that's why it was hard because
Yeah.
I had to take myself out of being the Jasmine of the book
Yeah.
and saying, okay, if I'm the child of this person, how does this actually feel?
Yeah.
And it actually this and again, it's all perfect timing. My youngest daughter just graduated from undergrad and we chat all the time and we were having a conversation recently about something that I did when she was a kid and I was like, "Oh, I did that all the time." And she was like, "You did?" And I was like, "That was, like, important for me to do all the time because I wanted you to know that I was there and I wasn't missing these moments of life." And she's like, "I don't even remember that."
Oh,
And
wow.
I was like, "Well, shit." Like, right? Like, as adults, we're like, "I'm gonna do this so my kids know that I'm there or that I support them or that I love." And we think about, like, these one-off random actions or things that we can do that we put emphasis and importance on. And then give them 20 years and then you ask them about it later and they're like, I didn't even know that you did that. I don't remember any of that. And so like putting myself in that, like having those conversations helped to put me in that space of like, how does this impact your loved ones? Like your performative behavior as a professional, how does it impact the lives of the people around you? So,
Yeah,
yeah.
because we don't often think about that because we're so in the, "This is the way we wash our clothes, wash our clothes." It's like we
Yes, exactly.
it's like, "This is what we do. This is what we do. We don't deviate from this," and we have
Yeah,
no
exactly.
idea the impact around us.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So what for you, because I found this when I was writing my book, what was the lesson you learned about yourself when you wrote this book?
Mm, mhm. Um, well, you can see them all in the book because
Okay.
you all know I'm very linear. So
Yeah.
as I was writing it and I started to discover these things, I identified them as principles. So there are 5 key principles in the book and 1 bonus principle. And it all comes back to actually my core value right now. With some recent life changes, I did my core value assessment, about 2 or 3 years ago. Again, because life
Yep.
happened,
Yep.
and freedom is my strongest and most important core value. And so throughout the book, it was kind of this constant search for or journey or
Ye
kind of yearning for this freedom and not really knowing what it looks like, not knowing how to get there. So, as Jasmine is going through the different seasons of life and faced with making different decisions, there are principles that pop up. And these are the same principles that I uncovered for myself in writing the book. And so, um, the biggest principle, which I think is key, and it's actually the foundational piece for the entire book, and I think for everything that carries out through her entire story, is making sure that you value yourself first. And so that was something that I didn't do for many, many years, and I think that is probably the key turning point. Pre podcast Natalie, that's one of those key turning points, right? Where I would place the value or importance of everyone else's needs ahead of my own. And then when you reach that season of life where no one's really depending on you to be there for them,
Yeah.
that's that harsh truth that's like there, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you have this goal of like raising phenomenal humans and they're independent and they're fine and that's great, but then also you have independent humans that don't really quote unquote need you, and my girls are that, right? Like they don't need me for anything, they are
Yeah.
fully self-sufficient. And
Yeah.
so because I place so much value on being mom to them and making sure that they had everything that they needed and wanted and were set up for success in life, I lack the time, space, and energy in looking at what I needed. And so valuing yourself
Mm,
first is the key and first principle within the book. And then you'll see that there are 6 other principles as well. But
yeah.
I uncovered that for myself, and that was huge.
Yeah.
And it's hard. You know, I've alluded to that in the many past episodes of the podcast where you ask me like what I want, and I jokingly and sometimes flippantly just say, I don't know what I want. Let's move on to the next thing. Now I am crystal clear. Like I know what I want
Yeah.
because I've given myself that time to actually be with myself and to um kind of get centered in knowing what I want. How I'm going to get there is irrelevant to me.
Yeah.
Honoring who I am and what I want, and not like losing what that feels like, what it smells like, what it tastes like, all of those things is the key piece. And so
Love that.
the string or the thread that ties both the quiet gift and meaningful success together is the journaling process, right? And so we had Emily in the first book that had the journal that she found and she was able to utilize. Jasmine also has a journal that she uses, one that sat untouched for many, many years, and she discovered it again, and that helped her along this entire journey as she's finding value in herself.
Wow. I
Yeah.
love the, honoring yourself first.
Mhm.
I had a coaching call with Amara this past week because I am newly discovered that I'm a 9. When you and I
Yes.
were with Rachel Jane, she's,
Yes.
"Oh, you're a 9." I'm like, no, I'm not." And she, yeah, you are." And
You are. Welcome.
Come to terms with it. You're not talking about if you don't know what a 9 is, it's a Enneagram.
Sure.
There's 9 different personality, basically, types, and so I am a 9. And she asked and so now Amara knows that, she was able to kinda coach me through, like, what does that look like? And one of the things is she goes, "What is your why?" And she goes, "And I don't mean the why as in this is your purpose in life and you're supposed to do
Mhm.
blah, blah, blah. It's
Yeah.
what is your why?" Meaning,
Yeah.
what is the thing that fuels you? Like,
Yeah.
deep down in your core that when you do that, it fills your energy, it fills your soul, it fills just everything. And I hadn't had somebody ask me that before.
Mhm.
And so I'm like,
Mhm.
"Well, teaching." And she goes, "That's doing for others." And so she's
Yes.
like, "But say the word teaching." And I was like, "Teaching." And she goes, "How does that feel?" And I'm like, "Well, this feels." She goes,
It's
"Well,
flat.
to me, it felt flat."
It's flat.
And
Yeah, exactly.
and then she's like,
Yes.
"Okay, how about what else?" "Well, inspiring other people." And she goes, "Okay, we'll say that word." And I said, "Inspiring." And she's like, "How did that feel?" And I said, "That felt heavy, like a job." And so she goes, "Okay."
Wow.
So we kept going through this process and we landed on connection. And she
Mm.
goes, "So how does it feel when you connect with somebody that you're with?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, "That, like, lights my soul, like, I love
Mm.
that." And then as we talked, and I was like, "And it also goes along with presence, that
Mhm.
presence and being connected." And I was like, "And it isn't only about connection with another person, it's sometimes connection with the outdoors, with
Yeah.
nature, with, whatever, with the
Yeah.
divine, whatever you wanna say." And so I settled into, "That's my why."
Yeah.
And so she's like, "Now" because 9s have a hard time setting boundaries. "Now when you're asked to do something, you need to ask yourself, does that feel like when you say connection, that's the type
Yeah.
of connection you wanna have in your world? And if
Yeah.
it doesn't, then this isn't for me
It's
right
a
now."
no.
It's a
Yeah.
no. And
Yeah.
so it was just such an interesting so when you said that, I mean, I literally this happened on Monday. So I literally just or Tuesday, I don't even know.
Mhm.
So I'm just now figuring out how to come into tune with me and
Exactly.
focusing on that. So I love that you said that.
I I think it comes from a lot of, like, our programming that we have, and I'm gonna speak specifically to women because, I'm gonna say women now, because young women, I feel, are a whole different breed.
Yeah,
So Gen Is or A Gen whatever the younger ones, if
yeah.
you're younger than 30, I'm not talking to you.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Turn this off. You're probably not listening.
Exactly. I'm not speaking to you because there was a time where women, young girls, that are now these women that are walking around that have not been programmed to value
Yeah.
ourselves, right? Like
Yeah.
we were programmed, and I'm gonna make it a we, us. We were programmed to serve others. It's like
Yeah.
you're going to be there for X, Y, and Z. I remember going to college, and I went to college in the South, and it so much so that it went against the grain that it hit me at the time, as a young adult in college when I heard it. But when I got to college and I'd never ever in my life now, I'm first generation it to go to college in the US, right? So US college experience is different than European college experience. So when I got to college in the US, and so I didn't have, like, family to lean on to say, "Oh, well, what's it like, da, 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 da," and I get to college and I meet these girls that are very clear. Dad has told them, "You have 3 semesters to find your husband," and they are very clear that they're there for their MRS degree, and I was like, "I'm sorry, you're here for what?" And so, like, it starts there, right? Like, it doesn't start there. It's like it culminates until that, right? It's like, I'm here to find the person that I'm going to serve, and I'm going to
Yeah.
again, pour into, do, so that
Yeah.
we can have the kids and the dog, and I'm gonna do for all of them.
Yep.
And all the while, like, no one's asking you what you want, right? Like, even as a young child, it's be seen and not heard.
Yeah.
Okay, so all of those thoughts and ideas and questions that I have, I just had to sit on them because
Yeah.
you're talking way too much. Sit down
Yeah.
and be seen and not heard. And so there like this opportunity to honor your thoughts, your feelings, your emotion, and be expressive in that was absolutely stifled
Yeah.
for us when we were growing up. And so it's no surprise that we are where we are as women. It's like, oh, wait, I can actually think about me and no one's going to judge me and say that I'm being selfish. Like it's healthy to think about myself. Okay,
Mhm.
great.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Yeah.
It's a lot of
Yes.
unwinding of
Yes.
programming that has been done since we were little,
Yeah.
and no fault of our parents.
Yeah.
This is just society. It's
Yeah.
what it was. It's what it was,
Yeah.
and we just
No, I totally blamed my parents for a long time. And
well, of
then
course, it was
again,
always
that came,
you. I mean, we had, like, somebody for goodness
I
sake.
did. I totally blamed my parents, and I always and this is a victim mindset, right? Like, this is how
Oh,
quickly victim mindset and victimhood can fall into you can fall into the tracks of it or traps of it, because I would always say, "Oh, well, in my household," or "My parents were this," or "My parents," and then I start to talk to other people that are within the same age range as me,
oh, yeah.
and I hear that their childhood and upbringing was the same, and I'm like, "Oh, this was generational. This was
This
just
was
society. This
generational.
was not my
Yeah.
house."
'Cause I mean, it was done to them, and it was done to
Yes.
their parents', and I mean,
Yeah.
so on and so forth. It's just been this
Yeah.
trickle down, and I think that there's just been this new awakening of
Yes.
women, in the last, I would say maybe 10 years. I would say
Yeah.
that's been 10 years for me since my divorce,
Yeah.
and it's just throwing everything out the window
It is.
and now
Yeah.
it's not anymore, and
Yeah.
we get to make the rules.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, and it's pretty
Yeah.
yeah.
Because that's I again, it's, we've talked about the values piece, and you and I,
Mhm.
we have taught other people about this, especially moms that end up doing the values exercise, and out of obligation, moms typically choose family.
Yeah,
And I think there uh, definitely was a time that if you didn't choose family, you're getting judged. If you're a
judged.
mother, you're
Okay.
getting judged.
Yeah, and I
And
remember watching people that would write family, and then when I gave them permission to
yeah.
not have to put family on there,
Yes.
because what if health was one of your values? How
Yeah.
can you even be there for your family if you don't have your health?
Mhm.
Wouldn't that be more important? And they're like, "Oh,
100%.
I guess I didn't think about that." And it's like, "Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah." So it's so interesting. It's so
Yeah.
interesting. It's so fun. I love
It
all
is fun.
well,
It's fun.
it is
Yeah. I
amazing.
think I'm okay with the untangling and peeling back of the onion layers or whatever metaphor you wanna stick in there, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's fine, like, I don't, I think it's all part of the journey, and I am grateful that I have reached a point in my life where I can face it and not feel the judgment,
Yeah.
right? And I can just simply unravel it as I see fit at my own pace to get me to wherever I wanna go,
Yeah.
which again, I think this is what these 6 principles, really pinpoint or put a spotlight on for us as we're reading it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
And
excited.
yeah, and I think it's gonna resonate with so many people, men, women,
Yes.
adults. It's gonna resonate because there's such powerful principles that,
Yes.
they really work for anybody. So
They
I'm
do.
so excited.
Yes, I am too. I am too. It is available on Amazon as we speak when you're hearing this, so
Love it.
Meaningful Success, go and check it out. I, cannot wait to hear what your thoughts are. Oh, and leave a review, of course. We want you to leave a review.
Then are you thinking of making it an audiobook?
You know what? Here's the thing. I just got through this milestone. I haven't thought that far yet.
Right. I was just wondering 'cause there are those listeners out there that love the Audible for
That
when they're
love an audiobook. You know what? And I am, listening to Joe Dispenza's, The Becoming Supernatural. I am grateful for audiobook for that. Like that yeah. I am J Dr. Joe Dispenza, the amount of research that you did to provide these books to us, thank you, but also my brain doesn't operate like that. So audiobook is helpful. You know what? I will do it. I will look into it. It's going to yeah, that'll be the next phase. I think right
Yeah,
now it was just a matter of well, I guess I didn't even talk about the other pieces, like creating the space to write the book, that's one thing.
yeah.
Going through the editing process.
That's always,
That's
It
fun.
hurts.
That's fun.
It hurts.
Find it
You get it back and you're like, oh, really?
exactly, exactly. Yeah, because here's the thing, there are a lot of things that make sense in my brain that did not make sense on paper, and so to have someone point that out, I'm like, "Well, shit.
I don't like that.
Why don't you know what I'm thinking?" Like, that's
Yeah,
exactly
come
I was
on.
thinking
If you
that, I
don't
just
get
didn't say it
sit
in
there,
text.
I get into your brain and know what I meant by that. That's so
Exactly. And then, the amazing team that just helped with, like, formatting. I mean, there's so many things that go into it. So
yes.
and this is self-published, right? So you all, if you're thinking about self-publishing a book, like, definitely do so, but,
Yeah.
it is, there are steps along the way, right? Like, you have the actual content, the material that you're creating and getting that out and making sure that you're working with an editor that is aligned with you and can work on your schedule, and also just like a team that can work with you when we're looking at like formatting and all of that. There were
Yeah.
a couple of folks that I reached out to assist with formatting, and they're these publishing companies that will have like just ancillary services that they'll provide. It's so
Mm,
interesting because there was one company that I interviewed and they were like, "Yeah, well, if we send something back to you for revisions, we're going to need a response back in at least 24 hours." And I said, "My
mm,
schedule does not allow that."
no,
And so
that's
I was like, "You know what? No need for my feathers to be flustered.
mm-mm.
You're not the right person for me.
Yeah.
I'll work with someone else."
Not today, Junior, but thank you. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
exactly. Not I mean, I'm on a plane for 6 of 24 hours. Like, how am I gonna get back to you? No way.
Well, and even then, I mean, the creative process of writing, I was like, if you have depending on
Yes.
the revisions that they want you to make, it's like you may
Yes.
not be able to do
Yeah,
that in such a way that it's honoring the book. So it's like, that
exactly.
just sounds terrible.
It's
Doesn't sound like they want business.
no, exactly, and it's listen, I love your business
So
model.
do.
If that works
Yeah.
for you, great.
Yeah.
I was not your ideal client
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'm not just an aspiring author that's sitting at home
No.
behind my computer all day, every day. Like, that would have been a hard thing for me, but
Yeah.
it all came together. The right people came forward, and, the process itself, it's a heavy lift. So if you have that book in there
Yeah.
that you know that you wanna write, first start by writing it. Don't think about all of the other things. There are many other steps, and there are services and resources, and you can Google anything, you can AI question everything, like,
Yeah.
whatever it is that you
Yeah.
need, you can create a plan.
Yeah.
Um, just get the story out there because that's what's important.
Yeah. I
As
mean,
Pam mentioned, just
yeah.
getting it
And
out.
I think that what we have learned over this, these, oh my God, almost 3 years of doing the
Yes,
podcast is
yes,
that your story is meant to be heard,
yes, exactly.
meant to keep to yourself because there's
Yes,
somebody out there that has gone through it, is going through it, needs to hear it. And
yes.
that's what this is all about. It's a community.
Also, we are starting year 4, not almost 3
Oh
years.
my God.
Year 4 starts in 3
What?
weeks.
Oh my God.
I'm just gonna let you know that right now.
When you get to a certain age, you stop tracking.
Yeah, you were like, in
Number
almost 3
of
years, I was like, "Oh, we will surpass 3." Yes.
years. So we're almost at 5 years. Okay, I think that's what something's supposed to happen at 5 years, I believe.
That's we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We'll figure that piece out.
I think,
It'll be
yeah,
good.
something huge is supposed to happen. I think trumpets and whatever. There's gonna be
What
something.
oh, that's right, Trump that's I was gonna
Is
say.
there
Okay,
a
hold on. That was a what was it? It was oh, well, we don't need that. No, we don't need any of that. Oh, here we go. Um, go to Amazon.com, secure the Meaningful Success book, and there we go. That was me attempting to put it on
Was
there.
I supposed to hear something? Nothing
That
happened.
was nothing, and there was
Nothing happened.
nothing,
Okay. Well, never.
nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
It's okay.
Okay. Well,
This is what it's live technical difficulties, you guys. This is what it sounds like.
I
Anywho,
I love it. Okay. So now we've talked about the book. Everybody's going to
yes,
go get the ebook, and then next week or no, it's going to by the time this comes out, it's everything's going to be available. So get
yes.
your book, read the book, leave a review, and then second book. I don't know that it'll come out at the end of the year, but what the or the third book,
Third, book 3. Yeah,
book three, and then
yeah.
you are going to pull out the first manuscript, and maybe that's going to be a 2027 thing.
That's such a huge commitment.
It's not
Uh,
commitment. It's just a maybe. It's a maybe.
uh,
No.
I'll pull it out.
Pull it out. That's all you have to do. You don't have to do anything. Just pull it out. Like revisit it and just say, does it speak to you? It may not. You're a totally different person than you were back then when you wrote it. Who knows?
I can still remember the characters from that book, and I can remember specific scenes that I wrote out in that book,
Ooh,
and I can still remember that sitting here right now. I can definitely pull it out.
okay.
Yeah.
We'll pull it out and who knows?
That's what I'm saying. Like that's a big commitment. We'll see. I'll pull it out. We'll see what
No,
happens.
no,
Who knows?
no, it's
We'll
just
see.
it's only pulling it out. There's not you don't even have to read it. Just pull it out and you say, okay,
Exactly.
I got it. And maybe have somebody else read it and just say,
That's the worst. Absolutely not.
I'm not writing a book for anyone else to read, people.
We're not writing it for anyone else to read. No, that's so funny you say that. That's so my partner was reading the book last week. Anyways, one of these days,
or the
I
original.
this one,
Okay,
the meaningful success.
okay.
And when I called him and I was like, "Oh, well, what are you doing?" He goes, "Oh, I'm just reading your book." I said, "I gotta go now. I just broke out."
Don't tell me anything. I don't want to hear it. I know it's like I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Just don't say anything.
Like you just process it and keep your thoughts to yourself.
Yeah,
That's all.
don't give me any
It's
feedback.
good. It's good.
Just good. But just
So the
order.
answer is no to that. No to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
We'll see though. Something will happen. I enjoyed the process. All in all, it was good. I'm glad that it's complete. But I'm also a September Virgo, so I like that sense of satisfaction with completion. So I have that, and we'll see. I mean, I still have to get the audiobook figured out. I'm not recording the audiobook, just so we are all
already
clear.
have our audiobook person.
I'm not doing that.
She could probably do it for us as well, and that way, same voice for the books and
exactly.
all right. So now we have a big event coming up end of June that we need to let our listeners know about because we've got a few of our past guests that are actually, or is it all of our past guests?
With the exception of one.
But 3 of these have been guests on our podcast. So you're not going to want to miss this. And it's the Success Summit. So it's exactly in the middle of the year. And you guys know we're all about kind of those check-ins throughout the year. And it's the middle of 2026 at the end of the month. And what better time to get together and spend 2 full virtual days? You don't even have to leave anything. Do this from the comfort of your home.
Come as you are. Join us from your sofa. Yes.
Exactly. And we have Natalie and I are going to be speaking. Natalie is actually going to share the principles that are from the book.
Yes.
We're going to go through the values exercise so that you can really dial into what your value is. And like Natalie said, those change based on the season of your life. So you may be hanging on to a value that meant something 5 years ago and it may be different now. So doing those check-ins every so often and making sure you're in alignment. And then 4 incredible speakers. One's going to walk us through breath work and some somatic resets. She does this reset every week and I go to it every week. It's completely free. And it is such a great way to just kind of recenter yourself, especially when you're busy going all the time. We've got another speaker that's going to share an app that helps with decision fatigue and picking your wardrobe. So that's going to be a great one. We have an AI expert coming in who's going to share how you can utilize AI in your life, not just your business, in your life to make your life more streamlined. And then we have the last speaker who's not been a guest on our podcast yet. Who is going to be all about the alignment in our body. And she is a dynamite. She's like just high energy. It is going to be 2 full days of some laughter, maybe some tears, and a whole lot of fun.
Exactly. I'm so excited for it. Mark the calendars, June 27th and 28th. 9 until 3 Mountain Standard Time, so 10 to 4 Central Standard Time, if that's a kind of a good baseline to go off of. We will make sure that we drop the link to purchase the tickets. They are available on Eventbrite. So if you find the Reignite Resilience podcast account on Eventbrite, you will be able to pull tickets there. You can also find information on our Facebook page. It's an event on Facebook page that will take you directly over to purchase tickets on Eventbrite. you guys, it's the middle of the year. Here you are halfway through 2026. Like if you're not sure if what you're working on is actually working, now's the time to check it. Now is the time to check
Yeah.
in. You don't want to throw anything out, throw everything out. And we're not going to do a complete revamp or overhaul of your life.
Right.
This is just an opportunity for you to, one, reflect, and then two, leverage yourself. We're looking at, with the somatic work that we're going to have that's introduced, making sure that you're not burning out for the rest of the year, making sure that you can leverage yourself with technology, with the use of AI, if that's something that you have or have not used in your personal life. Decision fatigue is a real thing. We are able to make more precise, crisp decisions when we don't suffer from decision fatigue. So if we can take some of those things off of our plate, how can we continue to leverage ourselves? And then making sure that all around we have great health as it pertains to like the four chambers of the heart. We're here to just help support you. So if you're interested, and you should be, go on over to Eventbrite and get a ticket.
You should be. And it'll be fun. We always have fun.
Yeah.
So
I think it's going to be an amazing time.
Yeah.
I'm excited. All right. Well, a lot of amazing things happening here in the world of Reignite Resilience. I think our next episode, we have a guest that's joining us, so that's going to be exciting. And back to our regular scheduled programming. And we would love to see you join us for our Zoom event, our mid-year success summit, that is taking place on the 26th and 27th. And if you found this episode to be helpful and beneficial, and you think that there's someone else that would enjoy it, feel free to share it. And if you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for?
Thinking.
Go ahead and subscribe.
It's so good.
It is so good. All right. Until next time, we'll see y'all soon.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you for joining us today on the Reignite Resilience podcast. We hope you had some aha moments and learned a few new real-life ideas to fuel the flames of passion. Please subscribe on your favorite streaming platform, like or download your favorite episodes, and of course, share with your friends and family. We look forward to seeing you again next time on Reignite Resilience.
Reignite Resilience family, we are so excited to share with you that the book, The Quiet Gift, A Journey of Self-Worth and Resilience, is now available on audiobook at Amazon. Make sure that you check the link in the show notes so that you can click on that and download a copy of the audiobook. This is an amazing story written by Pam as a part of the Red Journal series and narrated by Kristen Aiken-Salata. So we hope you enjoy. Until next time, we'll see you soon.